What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back in with a new video. And today, we got some pretty major news out of the Biden administration. And guys, just weeks after the Supreme Court struck down Biden's unconstitutional student debt relief plan, well, not even a month later, the Biden administration has just unveiled a $39 billion student debt relief plan. Not even a month after the Supreme Court struck down his original plan. Yeah, pretty much the Biden administration is saying, oh well, we're just going to do the exact same thing, just with slight variations. Yeah, they're basically saying we're ignoring the Supreme Court. Now, before I continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. If you click the blue button down below that says join right next to the channel name, you can help support the daily content that's also independent that you all know and love and hopefully enjoy. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody. So like I said in the intro, the Biden administration just announced $39 billion worth of student debt relief. Now, let me be 100% clear. As many of you know, I do agree that the current system we got for student loans is nonsensical. I believe you should be able to file bankruptcy when it comes to student debt. I believe that the current system is garbage. We should have an income-based system where, okay, you get, just an example, 10% of your income for 20 years to help pay off the student debt. You know, it's essentially seen as like kind of an investment thing. I forgot the exact name of it, but it's a ISA plan, I believe. Either way, there's far better solutions to this problem than this. Guys, you know what this does? This incentivizes bad people to run up student debt tens of thousands of dollars and face no consequences of it. I understand there's a lot of these people, they were young, they were dumb, they didn't know what they were going into. But you're telling me that you're going to forgive $39 billion worth of student debt to 800,000 people, which it says here, whose debts have been outstanding for more than 20 years. So if your debt has been outstanding for 20 years, guess what? Bam, you get a free pass. My question is this. There's a lot of people that I know that don't even take student loans. If they did, it's very minuscule. How in the world do you have that much student debt? Because that's $39 billion, and there's 800,000 people that are apparently eligible for this. That's $48,000 per person. Okay, I can maybe understand a couple thousand. You know, maybe say some of the interest payments, those are forgiven. That's one thing, which I may disagree with. I do agree, though, the interest stuff is complete malarkey. I think there is a better system. But you're telling me all of that is just suddenly vanished? What about all the people that didn't take student debt or student loans, who paid it off right away? What about them? What about the people that they went to, say, you know, community college? They didn't go to some big university that cost $500,000 just to park. You know, I'm maybe exaggerating, but it's like, that's a price in some of these areas that just go to freaking school. That's not accounting for, you know, housing. That's not accounting for everything else. You can't just say, oh, these people are just all forgiven. And again, this is what frustrates people. This isn't like, oh, we're going to get rid of the intro. We're going to pause the interest payments. The people just got to pay what they were originally, supposed to pay without the interest. That wouldn't startle people as much. But just to say they got nothing? No, you got to give something back. You can't just say these people are forever, ignore. They are suddenly gone. But it's like if you are 19 years, right? You paid your debts after 19 years. That just makes you angry. Because you paid off all that debt after 19 years, or those that done it before. What about how many people? Just think about that. How many people in the past have done that? It took them 20 years to pay off all their student loans. What about them? Do they get something? And this is the problem with this idea of just forgiving all debt. The education department said it was implementing its plan, announced in April 2022, to compensate borrowers for what is called historical inaccuracies and other failures in how the agency and its contracted loan services have managed the income-driven repayments programs. I'm glad that they're admitting that they screwed up, but instead of saying, oh, it's all forgiven, just say, just 10% of your income for 10 years. That's it. You're done. You don't have to worry about it. After 10 years, it's done. Just something tangible. Just, okay, we may not get all of it back, but there needs to be some kind of, system where, hey, you could file for bankruptcy, or you could sign up for a percent plan where the education department takes a percent of your income. The program is separate from President Joe Biden's sweeping student debt relief program the Supreme Court struck down last month. But it's funny enough that they finally unveiled it just 2 weeks after the Supreme Court made its decision. But the announcement comes as the Biden administration looks to highlight its alternative pathways for delivering student debt relief in the face of the legal defeat. Just not forgive it, just, it's all gone. Like, the Supreme Court's going to strike that down 100 times out of 100. Like, do they seriously think this time it's going to be constitutional? Our administration will continue to fight to make sure Americans can access high-quality post-secondary education without taking on the burden of unmanageable student loan debt, Kamala Harris said. But, first of all, why do people got to go to university? Why do they got to go to, say, Harvard? Why can't they just go to local community school? Why can't they go to a business school or something that doesn't cost as much as, say, Harvard or even in Wisconsin? It's just an example, Why are we pushing people to go to these big universities in the first place? Yes, that the big universities have its purpose for, like, science and all that stuff, that, like, bigger projects, but that should be for every single person. So it would make much more sense, absolutely much more sense, if they had, encouraged people to go to your local community college. Go, get a trade, something. Not just, you can just get as much student loans as you want and not pay it off. Department officials revised borrowers' accounts that retroactively count months towards forgiveness under the income-driven repayment plans that previously weren't counted or weren't typically qualified. Those months of credit pushed more than 800,000 borrowers to reach the threshold for loan forgiveness of 20 or 25 years, depending on the type of income-driven repayment plan. So, wait, they were already on the income, what? So were they already having, like, a percent of their income taken? Am I reading that right? If that's the case, this is even dumber than I thought. Because are these people that they had, like, a percent of their income taken, like, every year or so? But they forgave them? What? Income-driven repayment programs promise borrowers the opportunity to have their debts erased entirely after they make their payments for either 20 or 25 years, depending on the plan. But relatively few borrowers have received forgiveness under those plans. But if it's income-driven, it should just be 10% for 20 years and you're done. It shouldn't matter about, some of the interest factor. What? Am I misunderstanding this? But it just seems like that they already had a system in place. They just gotta say, no, after 20 years, you're done. That would make much more sense than this, oh, you're already on a forgiveness plan, but we're gonna just make it all go away. Yeah, this is why people get mad at this stuff. Because these people that have been there for 20 years and you still got $48,000 in debt, I can understand maybe a couple thousand. I can maybe understand, if it wasn't without interest. But this is more than just, oh, huge amount of interest. I doubt that it received that much just from interest alone. I doubt it. For it to be $48,000 per person, which if my math is correct, that's what it is here. But also, where's the money coming from? Who's paying for this? The people that, got an education and then suddenly they paid off all their student loans or didn't even take a student loan? Are they on the book for this? Republicans need to hammer the fact this is baloney. We need to focus on trade school. We need to focus on community college, stuff that's not as expensive. You get basically the same education. Except there's certain circumstances. I know that, but it's I'm talking in general. As you would to a university. But costs a lot less. And you don't have to take as much student loans. The GOP needs to hammer that. And focus on, hey, these universities, they're purposely jacking up prices. Without, reasonable cause. Yeah, let's go after their endowments. These basically money laundering schemes where people are, mysteriously donating a bunch of money to Harvard. They have $100 billion in endowments. I'm sure that money's going to students. Not. Punish these universities, but at the same time, make it where, look, you can either pay it off in whole, right, or something like that, or you can agree to a 20-year plan, or just an example, of a 10% income repayment plan. So 10% of your income is gone. None of this crap where, it's random and, the person could just, stack up hundreds of $1,000s of debt. That's ridiculous. There's a lot of things the GOP could propose that would be far more popular than this garbage, which I'm still confused who this qualifies for. If I'm understanding this correctly, it was people that were already on an income payment plan, but they still got $48,000 after 20 years? What degrees were these people going for? Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.